Hello and welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And on this part of this cricket happening show, yesterday I was talking about both the teams which are playing the one-day internationals were supposed to salvage something and keep the series alive, but both the teams failed. In fact, Sri Lanka failed against Pakistan to keep the series alive, and they lost it, and now Pakistan have already won the series 3-0 with 2 to go. And over there South Africa crushed Bangladesh. Not crushed, I mean South Africa beat Bangladesh by a huge margin after putting up a massive score into a similar situation where South Africa have already won the series with 1 to go. And as far as both the matches were concerned, the Sri Lanka versus Pakistan, it was about the Sri Lankans being toppled over for 208, and what a debut for this youngster, the nephew of Imam ul Haq, the former great player, and he made his debut very memorable as he became the second Pakistani player to make a century on ODI debut. Imam ul Haq actually scored a century today, and Hassan Ali taking a fifer to dismiss the Sri Lankans there. So that was the feature of this particular game. It was easy victory for Pakistan. And as far as South Africa and Bangladesh are concerned, South Africa saw Ab De Villiers coming into peak form today as he hammered the Bangladeshi bowlers at his own will, as he thrashed his career best score in ODIs of 176, scoring a century of just 68 deliveries, and he was absolutely dynamite today. And the Bangladeshis had absolutely no answer as he really ransacked runs, and South Africa ran up a huge total of 353, which left Bangladesh. Bangladesh definitely collapsed. They were doing it. They were definitely setting themselves. Probably I thought at 161 for 2, I reckon, but then there was a collapse as it has happened against South Africa, and they were wound up for 249. So I'll be talking about those matches. But the first match that I'm going to look at will be the second ODI, Bangladesh versus South Africa. So the toss was won here at the ground by Bangladesh skipper, and Bangladesh skipper decided that South Africans will actually the toss was won by Bangladesh, and Bangladesh selected to field first, and in walked the openers Hashim Amla and De Kock. Well, definitely one saw that the pitch was a bit too paced, I would say, but not very too paced. It was very manageable on this particular pitch. Hashim Amla and De Kock had to be a bit cautious with the bowling, not effective, I would say, but definitely asking a lot of questions. Especially Quinton de Kock was kept quiet, because if you look at his knock, he contributed 46 of 61 deliveries with just one boundary, and that is a very rare occurrence in case of Quinton de Kock. But Shakib Al Hasan was the one who provided them the breakthrough, but not before the South African opening partnership had realized 90 runs for the first wicket. Quinton de Kock was gone for 46. He was LBW bowled Shakib Al Hasan. After that, Hashim Amla was there. Hashim Amla also looked a bit sedate, but Du Plessis was given a send-off to the pavilion very quickly, and that was done by Shakib Al Hasan. In fact, in the same over that he picked up Quinton de Kock, Shakib Al Hasan gave a double joy for Bangladesh when Du Plessis was clean bowled for naught of just 3 deliveries. But no one realized, and no one would have known, that after 2 wickets were gone quickly for South Africa, the man who was entering the scene was Ab De Villiers, and one probably would have never thought that Ab De Villiers would explode in such a fashion. He started off slowly driving away some boundaries and slowly going away, but then slowly started rattling along in the company. Hashim Amla had the luxury because of Ab De Villiers, who was stroking the ball freely and frequently. Hashim Amla had the luxury of playing a sedate role there. But as far as, not very sedate, but probably Amla, if you look at Amla's score, he made 85 of 92 deliveries with 4-4. So definitely by Amla's standards, one would have expected more boundaries to come there. But De Villiers was completely electric. He was really slamming the ball hard, and definitely he was he was striking at his own will. And predominantly he was going between the region between square leg and mid wicket. I reckon all his sixes were coming into that area, and he was literally tearing the Bangladeshi attack apart. And before one could realize, in 68 deliveries he had already reached his century. And he also hit so many sixes that now that he has joined the famed group of Shahid Afridi, Chris Gayle, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and certain famed players in the six group, where they have scored 200 sixes. Hashim Amla was there to give him company, and this particular partnership really started growing by leaps and bounds in that particular phase. As you would remember, 17 points in the 18th over, they were 90 for 2, but because of De Villiers' injection of runs, the score at 226, and that was the time Rubel Hussain picked up the wicket of Hashim Amla by getting him caught behind for 85, 92 deliveries, 4-4s. After that, Dumini came in, and Ab De Villiers, after his century, was absolutely unstoppable. He was hitting the ball wherever he wanted. It was like a periscope bat. The bat was like a periscope going all round. And what a knock from Ab De Villiers. I mean, for the first time after getting into international cricket, after taking a break due to injury, and finally he really showed what this Ab De Villiers is. And today what he did is he collected his career best score in ODIs of 176 runs, of 104 deliveries only, 15 fours and 7 glorious sixes. What a knock from Ab De Villiers there. And Dumini's contribution was 30 of as many balls, no 4, just a 6. Bahadin was not out on 7. Pretorius was out for a duck to the ball. Rubel Hussain, Phil Kwai was not out on naught. And thanks to Ab De Villiers' supreme knock, the South Africa sat on a total of 353 for 6. And well done, Ab De Villiers. If you look at the bowling card for the Bangladeshis, Mashrafe Mortaza, 10 overs, none for 82, was thrashed to the tune. Taskin Ahmed, 9 overs, carted for 71, no wicket. Shakib Al Hassan had 2 wickets for 60 of his quota. Nasir Hussain, 8 overs, went for 49. Rubel Hussain, 10 overs, definitely leaked run 62, but by his standards, compared to the other bowlers, I thought it was good because he had 4 wickets for 62 to his name. Sabir Rahman, 1 over for 11, and Mahmudullah bowled 2 overs for 16. Now the Bangladesh were given a target of 354 to win from their 50 overs, and let's see what Bangladesh did. Now Bangladesh definitely was strengthened today by the coming in of Tamim Iqbal into the squad along with Imrul Case. Now, but Tamim Iqbal could not. I mean, definitely there would have been probably one would have expected a century from Tamim Iqbal because they were chasing a huge score. But that didn't happen as Pretorius provided South Africa with a breakthrough when he trapped Tamim Iqbal LBW for 23 of 25 deliveries, in which he had 3 boundaries. Imrul Case was the one who stuck there and started playing some strokes, and also was really nurdling the strike well in the company of Litton Das. But Felkavayo dismissed Litton Das LBW for 14 of 12 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. Imrul Case continued to play there as Mushfiqur Rahim walked in. Mushfiqur Rahim came in, and Mushfiqur Rahim definitely was looking good at the crease, but Imran Tahir was the one who actually had Imrul Case wicket caught by De Villiers, not before Imrul Case had his, I think it was his first 50 of 2017, I'm told, because he has been dismissed in 30s and 40s quite a couple of times. 68 of 77 deliveries, 6 fours and 1 6. Mushfiqur Rahim and Shakib Al Hasan together, but Shakib Al Hasan was dismissed pretty cheaply by Imran Tahir for just 5 runs, and Mushfiqur Rahim and Mahmudullah pair were the craze. Mushfiqur Rahim was, as you know, as is his wont, normally he really tried to chisel together a partnership with Mahmudullah, and Mahmudullah's contribution was 35, and that was the time when there was a real collapse. They were 162 for 2 at one stage, and in the 30th over, and still they were in the game at that particular time, and then we saw a real collapse there with Shakib Al Hasan going cheaply, Mushfiqur Rahim himself being a victim as he was scalped for 70 of 60 balls. Mahmudullah was out for 35, 46 deliveries, and after that it was all over for Bangladesh. Sabir Rahman fell a victim for 17 of 18 balls with 2 fours to Tahir. Nasir Hussain lost his stumps to Phil Kawayo, 3 of 11 deliveries. Mustafa Muntazir for not LBW. Taskin Ahmed not out on 3. Ruben Hussain's stumps were cleaned up by Patterson, 8 of 14, 2 fours. 249 all out, and that's, as I said, South Africa definitely taking a 2-0 lead, but also they have already won the series, as you know, and Bangladesh only have something to salvage now in the final one day. Rabada 9 overs, none for 40, did his job. Patterson 8.5 overs, no maiden, 1 for 67. Pretorius 10 overs, 2 for 48. I thought he bowled a good line. Phil Kawayo did a fine job, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 40 runs and 4 wickets, and this is his name. Imran Tahir was amongst the wickets as well, 10 overs, no maiden, 50 runs and 3 wickets. And the man of the match, well, there are no prizes for guessing, it was Ab De Villiers. So from here, let's get on to the other match. We are talking about the third one-day international, just played between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. It was played in Abu Dhabi. The toss was actually won by Sri Lanka themselves, and Sri Lanka had no hesitation in going and batting first on that pitch. Niroshan Dikwala and Upul Taranga opened the innings. Niroshan Dikwala, well, did not look very confident at the crease, but nevertheless he was still there. And Upul Taranga was looking very confident at the crease. He was stroking the ball to a nicety. He was nicely driving through the mid-off and mid-off area. Basically, he was creaming boundaries through the offside. He was really creaming boundaries through the offside. He was doing it in a very, very wonderful way, actually. And as I said, he was creaming boundaries through the offside. So that was really, really good to see. And Upul Taranga, the Hassan Ali was bowling a good line, and as I said, he was along with Niroshan Dikwala. Upul Taranga definitely played well, there was no doubt about it. He did his job perfectly, but Niroshan Dikwala was the first victim as he fell a victim to Hassan Ali after making, I thought it was 18 odd runs, if I'm right there. So I'm going to confirm that to you. So that is what it was, and for Sri Lanka, it was only Upul Taranga who played a very good knock. Other than that, there was no one who could really come to the party, and the things were very, very difficult for Sri Lanka, I would say. First it was Hassan Ali getting the breakthrough, and after that we saw the spinners really put the brakes on the Sri Lankan scoring, and that really frustrated them, and it finally resulted in Hassan Ali getting a very rich haul, and he also became he took a 5-wicket haul, and he also got 50 wickets in this. He has already reached 50 wickets, and he is the fastest Pakistan bowler. I mean, he has been the fastest bowler to 50 wickets in ODIs, and that itself is a great achievement by Hassan Ali. What a player Hassan Ali is. I mean, such a vital cog for Pakistan, I would say. So Niroshan Dikwala was the early victim, bowled by Hassan Ali for 18 of 26 balls, 2 fours. Taranga's contribution was 61 of 80 balls, 5 fours. He was doing a fine job, and then but it was Dinesh Chandimal once again could not do much. He contributed only 19 with one boundary, 19 of 49 deliveries, and it was the googly from Shadab Khan, which once again Chandimal failed to read, and he was LBW to Shadab Khan. Kapagatra was caught and bowled by Hassan Ali for 18 of 30 deliveries with 2 fours. Tirumani's contribution was 28 of 45. Did not look impressive at all. He was caught behind the ball of Muhammad Hafiz. But Taranga, as I said, was doing his job, but his scalp was taken once again. Shadab Khan, as I said, the spinners really came into the middle and really caused a lot of complications for the Sri Lankan batsman. Upul Taranga was out for 61 of 80 deliveries, 5 fours. After that, once Tirumani was gone for 28, Sirivardhana once again had a failure. He was caught by Fakhar Zaman of Junaid Khan for 2. Van der Sey could not contribute anything to the score. He was out for a duck to the bowling of Hassan Ali. And as I said, first the spinners, and in the middle order it was the spinners, and that really frustrated. And it's only Tisra Pereira with some few blows, making 38 of 37 5 fours, but then he was a victim of a run out for 38. Dhananjaya was a victim of the bowling of Hassan Ali. Chamira also lost his wicket to Hassan Ali. Gamage was not out or not, and the Sri Lankan innings wound up at 208. So definitely, other than Upul Taranga and Tisra Pereira, there was nothing to really talk about as far as the. But look at the Hassan Ali's bowling figures, tremendous bowling figures. 10 overs, no maiden, 34 runs and 5 wickets. Very splendid spell from Hassan Ali. Junaid Khan, 8 overs, 1 for 32. Ruman Rais was a bit costly today, 7.2 overs, no maiden, 52 runs and no wicket. Mohammad Hafiz at 8 overs, 1 for 39. Fahim Ashraf, 5 overs, none for 10. And Shadab Khan bowled a good spell as well. 10 overs, no maiden, 2 for 37. Now Pakistan were given a target of 209 runs to win from 50 overs, and one saw that Imam ul Haq, the nephew of the current chief of selectors, Inzamam ul Haq, was actually making his debut, and one was really looking at it. As you know, when the selection was made, there was a bit of eyebrows raised, but Imam ul Haq definitely justified his inclusion in the squad. On his debut, he became the second Pakistan player to make a century on ODI debut, and what a knock. I mean, Imam ul Haq and Fakhar Zaman started it, and they were they were really with the game, in the sense they were really with the rate. I mean, they were Fakhar Zaman was playing his strokes today. Imam ul Haq, what one saw about Imam ul Haq was he was very, very good against the pace bowlers. He was dealing with the short one very well. He was getting behind the line of the ball beautifully, and he was also not afraid to play some nice airy strokes in the power play overs where he got some runs. And also another thing that one noticed about Imam, his composure at the crease was very good, and his handling of the spinners was spot on. And we also saw that once he got a bit of confidence against the spinners, we saw him how Imam ul Haq was showing that what a good player of spin he can be by using his feet in a very nice manner as this partnership just started going on. But then Fakhar Zaman, whose wicket was claimed by Van der Sey, when Fakhar Zaman had a rush of blood trying to come down the wicket to Van der Sey, and Van der Sey actually defeated him with a googly, and Dikwala behind the stumps neatly stumped him. He was gone for 29 of 40 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6. That was wicket number 1. Babar Azam, on whom the eyes were trained probably whether he would get his third consecutive ODI century, as he has made it a habit, as we all know, but that was not to be today. Babar Azam was a victim of the bowling. Gamage actually rattled his stumps for 30 of 39, that is 1 4. And in the process, Imam ul Haq was the one who was really taking Pakistan to victory. And what a knock from Imam ul Haq. I mean, really, I would say on his debut, as I said, he's only the second Pakistan player who has gone to a century on ODI debut. And Imam ul Haq's contribution is exactly 100. Tisra Pereira was the one who dismissed him, but by the time Imam ul Haq had already ensured that Pakistan were marching towards victory. So his contribution, 100 of 125 deliveries, 5 fours and 2 sixes. Well played, Imam ul Haq. And finally, Mohammad Hafiz did the formalities with an unbeaten 34, 51 deliveries, 4 fours. Malik was not around not, and Pakistan 209 for 3, winning the series because it's a 3-0 lead, and now it's only a matter of the Sri Lankans actually trying to salvage something there. As far as the bowling was concerned, Gamagai, as usual, looked impressive. 7 overs, 1 minute, 1 for 35. Chamira, 10 overs, also did his job in a very nice manner. 10 overs, none for 33. Akila Dhananjaya went for a bit of runs today. 10 overs, none for 57. Van der Sey, the leggy, also did his job. 9.3 overs, 1 minute, 43 runs and 1 wicket. Srivardhana 2 overs for 12 and Pereira 4 overs, 1 for 22. But it was all about the total, which was just a modest total, and it was always on the cards that Pakistan were going to win this match. And that's what precisely happened. Imam ul Haq for his debut ODI century, and as I said, he has become the second Pakistan batsman to score a century on debut, and that really says a lot of things about Imam ul Haq. As I said, everything about it was very good, and I think he has all the promises of being a good player for Pakistan in the future. Well, dear fan subscribers, it was a pleasure bringing you this daily cricket show of mine. Hope you all enjoyed the broadcast, and I'll be there on my next broadcast tomorrow. Till such time, it's good night.